All right, let's get right into it. If you're someone who has spent pretty much your whole life focused on everybody else, their feelings, their needs, their drama, while your own needs get pushed to the back burner, then you're in the right place. We're going to unpack why that happens, and more importantly, why it is so crucial to finally shift that spotlight back onto yourself.
So let me just ask you this straight up. Does this sound like you? All your energy, it just gets poured out into your partner, your kids, your job, your friends. But at the end of the day, there's nothing left to pour back into you. You're the one everyone calls, the one who solves the problems, the emotional rock for everybody else. But who's the rock for you?
And this quote right here, it really gets to the heart of it. The key word is trained. This isn't just a bad habit you picked up. The idea here is that this pattern of self-neglect was literally programmed into you. And if you don't consciously break that programming, well, the costs just get higher and higher.
So to figure out how to fix this, we've got to go back, way back. It all starts with what you could call your family's programming. Think of it like the original operating system that might still be running your life even today. Now, the term used for this is a narcissistic family. And let's be super clear here, this is not about armchair diagnosing everybody in your family. Not at all. It's about a system where the entire family unconsciously revolves around the needs and illness of one parent. It's a lot like how a family might organize itself around a parent's addiction. All the energy, all the attention, it all flows in one direction, towards that central problem.
And here's what that teaches you as a kid. You learn, very early on, that your value isn't a given. It's not about who you are. It's about what you do for others. Your worth comes from what you give. You become the peacemaker, the caretaker, and your own needs, your own feelings, well, you learn pretty quickly that those are selfish or just an inconvenience to the system.
And all of this leads to the creation of a kind of persona. It's called the family's superself. And this is so important. This is not the real you. It's a role. It's a version of you that was custom built to keep the family system running smoothly. This is the you who literally can't say no, who feels this immense guilt when you even think about putting yourself first, and who carries the weight of everyone else's happiness on your shoulders.
This quote just perfectly captures the devastating result of living that way. There's this story of a really successful neurologist who, deep into his career, just had this shocking moment of clarity. He basically admitted, "How did I even get here? I don't think I ever even wanted this. This is what my family wanted for me." He woke up one day and realized he had built an entire successful life for his family super self, not for his true self.
So as you can imagine, living this way for years or even decades, it comes with a really high price. Let's break down exactly what that cost is, the real consequences of constantly focusing on everyone but yourself. First, and this is a big one, you literally lose track of yourself. You spend so much energy loaning pieces of yourself out to others that one day you look in the mirror and you don't know who's looking back. Someone asks you a simple question like, "What do you want?" or "What makes you happy?" and you just draw a blank. It's because you're living out a script written by someone else, always chasing that pat on the back, that external approval that feels good for a second, but it never, ever truly fills you up. Second, you end up repeating really toxic patterns, especially in relationships. See, your whole system was wired for dysfunction as a kid, so chaos and toxicity can feel weirdly normal. It can feel like home. And that's why you might keep finding yourself in the same kinds of unhealthy relationships or jobs. You end up tolerating things from a partner that you would tell your best friend to run from in a heartbeat. And the scariest part? You risk passing this on to your own kids through what's called your emotional Wi-Fi, that invisible current of unspoken rules and feelings that they absorb just by being around you.
So what's the bottom line? When you don't focus on yourself, time keeps moving, but you don't. You're stuck. You can look back 5, 10, 15 years and realize you're still fighting the same battles, feeling the same emptiness. It's just a different page on the calendar.
But here's the good news, and it's really good news. It does not have to stay this way. That pattern can absolutely be broken. So now let's talk about the path forward, how to start reclaiming the real you.
The key here is a concept called self-differentiation. It sounds a little academic, but it's really simple. It's the process of learning to hold on to you, your thoughts, your feelings, your needs, even when other people are pressuring you to be what they want you to be. It's about untangling yourself from that old family programming and finally, letting your true self come out.
Okay, so where on earth do you start? Here are 3 real, practical things you can do. First, engage your thinking brain over your feeling brain. The next time you're in one of those tense family situations and you feel that familiar gut reaction, just pause. Take one single breath. That tiny bit of space is enough to choose a response instead of having an old reaction. Second, you have to actively choose to love yourself. This means treating yourself with the same kindness you give away so freely to others. It could be as simple as carving out 10 minutes a day to do something just for you and nobody else. And third, start to reduce and grieve the toxic relationships in your life. This doesn't mean you have to have some big dramatic blow-up. It can be as simple as not answering that draining phone call after 9 p.m. It's about weeding your own garden so that something new and healthy can finally have space to grow.
So, I'm going to leave you with this. A question to really sit with. Take an honest look at your life, your job, your relationships, the big choices you've made, and ask yourself this. The life you have built, was it ever really for you?